When my dad was dying, he was in so much pain. I remember crying as they tried to move him to show me something on his body. I stopped them and said, "It's not important, just stop." My dad was nonverbal at the time, but the look he gave me said thank you. He was nonverbal, but he still had tears in his eyes that conveyed pain. So much pain. And I held him for a long time, as people do when someone lays in hospital. I was bent over, one knee on a chair, my arm around his pillow, in fear that I'd hurt him if I rested too long on his skin. But for the first time in years, I rested my face on his shoulder, and I know he felt the wetness of my eyes. For the first time in years, I didn't hide my sadness from him. He didn't hug me back, because he couldn't. And that's how I knew it was over. My dad spent his whole life as a driver, school buses and 18-wheelers and limos. For my life growing up, it was 18-wheelers and he was gone a lot. But that didn't stop him from hugging me every single night. I grew up hugging the phone, making vocal noises that signified me squeezing him so tight. He would do the same. There was no moment in my life that my dad has ever not hugged me, even when he couldn't. So this moment was pretty profound for me. I said to him, "I wish I could take your pain." And that night, I ended up in the hospital because I couldn't walk. That night, my dad died. My mom came and banged on my door and chaos ensued as we tried to get me to the hospital again to see him one last time. I was in a wheelchair. I had his pain. I always thought wheelchairs made people comfortable, but I doubt that now. I always thought the hospital floors were smooth, but I now know that to be untrue. And I sat by him, unable to hold his hand because my arms were holding my body in the only position that stifled my own screams. I had his pain. We are so connected, more than we realize. Not just me and my dad, but people as a whole. After he died, we were able to see what the nurses were trying to show us while he was alive without hurting him, but not without pain. It was a bed sore. No, it was what started as a bed sore, which turned into a void, a hole that barreled through his skin and flesh and muscles, all the way to his bones. I saw his bones. I saw his bones. And I wondered, how could people be so cruel to let a man suffer this way? The pain of this moment settled differently. It settled in my cells, never to vanish. It turned into trauma, never to heal. I have his pain, probably forever. I needed surgery, but no doctor caught that for a year. I took his pain, the pain of waiting with a serious issue, doctors going about their normal business like cashiers at a department store, being voiceless in a situation that very much affects me in every way, waiting for seemingly nothing to be done. I had his pain.